What's up, everybody? We got a great show today. Celebs are banding together to save Black lives, and Roland Martin goes in on Wendy Williams. All that and more on Black Hollywood Lives this week.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
Uh-oh, Jesse, you're not giving them the turnaround, though. Jesse giving them the turnaround today. Go ahead, Jay. Kill him. I don't even need to do the intro. You just started. You tell everybody what we're watching. What are we watching today? Where they at?
Welcome to Black Hollywood Lives this week with your host, Derrial Christon.
What up? That was nice.
Rachel True.
Hi. What up?
DJ Jesse J. Yo. And Courtney Stewart.
Courtney's throwing off on that one.
She was supposed to do it with me, but she...
No, I thought you were talking about like in general, like we all should enter his turning on. I was like, that's ridiculous, and I'm trying to be quiet because he's about to come on.
Well, you gonna introduce our guest, or you want me to do it?
There we go.
All right. Well,
nobody wanted to participate with me, so
listen. I tried to participate, but you know we have a lot of fun today. Obviously, Jesse, that was a great intro. But our very special guest today, he is a co-writer, he's a director, he's a executive producer of Out Dysfunction. We have David Bianchi with us today. What's up? Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
You know, that's a hell of an introduction we did. So thank you for coming in today.
That was beautifully done, man. You are very eloquent, sir. Very eloquent.
Thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank you for having me.
We got a great show. I'm going to talk to David a little bit later about his project, but first I want to let you guys know some of the topics we'll be speaking about. One is the video that we spoke about with all these celebrities that are banding together for racism, to fight racism. We have the Starbucks Black Lives Matter. Roland Martin, as we mentioned, versus Wendy Williams. A black employee at Yale gets fired. Donald Trump declines the NAACP. And first African-American female librarian is named in Congress. It's going to be a great show today. But first up, we're going to start off with your topics, DJ Jesse J.
So we came up with the Beyonce because yesterday was the 13th anniversary of that song. That's how old we are. So wow. Let's just let that sit with us.
Like 5 years.
It's been 13 years.
And it's still the jam, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Well, Beyonce has come up in another video. So basically, this site, Mike, partnered with Alicia Keys' We Are the Movement organization, and they put this video together, a viral video. They took, it's 23 ways black people have lost their lives to racist violence. Alicia Keys, Beyonce, Taraji P. Henson, a whole bunch of celebrities came together and they put this video.
Failing to signal a lane change.
Riding in your girlfriend's car with a child in the back.
Run into the bathroom in your own apartment.
Selling cigarettes outside of a corner store.
Riding a commuter train.
So the video had gone viral before putting all these celebrities together. It was just originally one of the journalists from Mike. However, they partnered with Alicia Keys, got a whole bunch of celebrities together to just be able to give it a bigger platform and kind of a bigger push. It's gone viral. People are taking to it, and people are starting to now create more videos like this. So.
We're actually going to be doing our own set of videos for Black Hollywood Live as well, so look out for those. But I'm going to be honest with you, Jesse, when I saw this today, it just, I didn't realize how emotional I really was going to get about it. But I think just watching how many cases that have been just been wrong for black people, and just overall, and just how innocently things can happen where, like they were saying, you could just be walking with a friend, or you could just be sitting in a car, or you could just be pulled over for a license plate. It is insane to me. That it takes a video like this for people to really start to pay attention to this. I think it's great for celebrities to be involved in this. It's going to help out a lot of things, but I hope there's more and more videos of this, because this is the only way that this message is really going to get out there. And I think that, unfortunately, people only a lot of times listen to celebrities and that type of thing when this is happening to just your common people every day. And, I hope that this does make a change that we see on more of a continuous basis.
And shout out to the ESPYs, because the
opening with
very
LeBron and Carmelo and all that.
Great job.
It
was a great call to action.
Yeah, and I was saying, when I first moved to Los Angeles in the 90s, it was a month after the riots, and there was sort of this agreement with everyone, black and white. We just don't talk about race anymore. We don't talk about that because And it was the weirdest thing that it's taken this many years to have dialogues and have this out there. And the thing that's always struck me the hardest with any of these situations that they're talking about, how you can be killed if you're black, those are just the people we know of. There's so many other people who've been killed in circumstances like this who are buried on the side of the road, or we don't know, we never heard their story. And it could be any of us in this room. Any of us in this room.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really, really somber topic, and it's by the grace of God, we're in a position where nowadays we have media that can perpetuate the message, right? Because it's not like this is a new thing. I mean, this has been going on since, the Emancipation Proclamation. It's just that we're at a point now where it's becoming a little bit more visual, and I think that as a people, we're becoming a little more unified and we're a little more aware. So the rising of what we're doing right now, these sort of videos, celebrities stepping up and sort of endorsing the message and trying to create awareness is really, really important. But let's not forget, this is not new shit, folks.
No,
right.
It's not.
Nothing new about this, although I will say about this video, I'm glad they included some Caucasian people. I think it's great that Alicia Bono and a high profile, because I've always said when I try to dialogue with my white friends, and even they're super liberal, but are not going to hear it as clearly from me as they will from their peer, what they consider their peer, someone else who's white.
Right.
So it is imperative that white people who are liberal have this conversation among themselves.
Well, it's really funny you say that, because our sister or brother network, what we would consider is AfterBuzz TV, which is basically our parent company, and several of our Caucasian staff members, we had gotten into a discussion earlier this week about something similar, where we had a situation where thank you guys for letting us know that our site was down, but our site had crashed earlier this week, and there was a lot of concern about what happened, is the network over? But one of the biggest things was that it was through Google, and the mistake that happened had we changed it and everything was fine, but my staff members were really upset by it, and they were, it was like angry white man in Black Hollywood Live studio, and they were coming seriously, and they were coming at me like, why aren't you angry? Why aren't you upset about this? The site is down, and I said, listen, we need to find a solution first of all, but I am angry. But you know what? I said, I'm glad that you guys are angry, because now you understand all the stuff that goes on with us, that, I would be angry every day if I get mad at every single thing that happens to a black person that is unjustified. And, whether it's the website, whether it's just things in life. And it was funny, it was like a epiphany that happened for them. And they both looked at me and were like,
did they have that moment?
We get it.
They did.
Get it. They were like, we get it. Like, white privilege is real. They said white privilege is real.
Wow.
And anger is only as good as the emotions that manifest it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the problem is that, there's a lot going on right now socio-politically with the black culture, but the problem is that we're so angry, we're not able to put ourselves in a position like you did to sit back and reflect on what we're going to do about the issue, as opposed to just being reactionary.
Right.
Because right now there's just a lot of reactionary behavior.
Right. Which is justified, but very true.
Absolutely. And I have to say I follow a lot of animal activists on social media, and F you to the ones who didn't say a word about the things that have been going on with minorities and black people in the last couple weeks. Seriously, I care about the baby seals and I care about everything you're tweeting about, but the fact that you people stayed fucking silent when people were murdered in the streets is unforgivable. Thank you.
Right, listen, we can end the show on that. There you go. Show's
There
over.
that goes.
So, but maybe you want to, how can you find a little way in your community to make a little bit of a change? Well, some people think they might have done so. They've been going to Starbucks. And apparently, when they go to Starbucks, they've been asking the barista to write as their name, or on your app, you can change your name to hashtag Black Lives Matter. And so that way, the barista has to yell out, Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, but how many ways are there for a barista to screw up Black Lives Matter? Like, they can't even spell like Mike, so how are they going to spell Black Lives Matter correctly? Blah matter, blamage.
Well,
And what's whack too is the barista's on blast, so he's got to put it out there. Because if he's like, like, yo, who are you fucking racist, bro?
you
spit it out.
You would think that.
Have you been doing it?
However, so apparently this has been going on, and everyone has been participating, and they're loving it. But there's this one Starbucks in New York where the supervisor actually refused to say that, asked the person to step aside, and when they were ready to give their actual name, they would call it. And when they said, well, why? He said, Starbucks does not take a stance on race. Didn't y'all have hashtag race together last year?
Right, that's-
So I'm trying to figure out.
I'm shocked he didn't change it to like all lives matter, frankly. It's
Yeah,
just like,
really,
honestly,
say
like,
that.
left
Don't
to
do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
talk to them about the black people that are actually picking the coffee beans.
Right. Preach on, David.
So I don't know. I think that guy needs to check his manual again and. Not
I do. I mean, if you guys,
That's crazy.
It is crazy, and it is crazy that the white people are trying to classify Black Lives Matter as a terrorist group. That's insane. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This country has changed a lot through social protest, and that's what Black Lives Matter is doing.
Well, that's an interesting point because America, as we know it, is based on protest.
Right. Exactly.
Boston Tea Party.
That's my point.
everything, just being an
Right, from day
independent nation.
one.
Everything that we have participated in, the evolutionary process of where we are right now, has to do with protest. It is the uprising of the people. So we have to do that to be Americans. That's what makes us American.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that.
That's true.
Because our next topic is why we weren't really Americans for so long and why the white folks are having such a hard time with it right now. So are you done just anyone on your toes or what have you?
Girl,
But yeah,
both your
so
stories of that.
we talked about, we didn't actually, we talked about it a little bit with Kim Whitley, I think, last week
briefly.
on Portraits. Check her out on our website. Great interview. But so last week, Wendy Williams got basically slammed because she said some very unfortunate comments on her show regarding HBCUs and the NAACP, essentially saying that she basically leaned back in her chair and was like, well, if I was a white person, I would, think it's a little strange that HBCUs have to still be around. Like historically black colleges, you don't see, if I see historically black colleges, like why aren't there historically white colleges? And then she said, why black people can't, or why white people can't, National, she couldn't even say what it actually was. It's the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People. She just said the National Association of Colored People. And so, of course, she got a lot of flack for it. She got dragged across Twitter backside, took a wig off, threw it across the street. Like, they tore her up on Twitter.
She talks about it every day.
They tore her up on Twitter, and then Mr. Roland Martin went in on Wendy on his show, News One Now, and
You do not want to go toe-to-toe with Roland Martin.
No.
You do not want to do that. He knows his
So
facts.
he snatched her bald after they already took her wig, and he essentially went through a history lesson as to why everything that she said was so wrong, and basically told her to shut the hell up and read a book and stop.
He literally said that.
He told her to shut the hell up and maybe read a book instead of reading all the gossip magazines. So that aired the very next day, which actually we talked about. I was wondering if she was going to react to it or if she was just going to ignore it or whatever. The next day on her show, she came on the show and she said that she basically had a conversation with Roland because she knows Roland and that he will be on the show next week. So Roland came on the show this morning and they sat down together. And actually, surprisingly, I actually personally thought it was much, more calm and respectful than I thought it was going to be.
On her side.
No, I thought on both sides actually, because I don't feel like he had already gone in on her. He didn't need to do anything else.
I'll let you finish
I thought it was soft. I thought it was a little soft. It wasn't as many fireworks as I expected, but she did it. She came out of the gate apologizing. She straight up said, I'm a soldier. I can be real. I can be honest. And I can say I'm sorry. I have no problem with that. She said she was sorry. And she said, she basically handed him the mic and said, I'm sorry for everybody that I offended and for not having the knowledge. Roland explained to them the knowledge that I don't have. And he went through a history lesson for those of y'all that don't know. The country was founded on slavery back in 1693, I think it was. So the slaves came over here. People might not. Apparently Wendy Williams didn't know, girl. And she went to college. But hold on.
Sorry.
His biggest point, which was actually very, the way he articulated it, I thought it was really, really well done. So he goes through the course of history, so revolution fought over the potential of slavery, not what we think it was. And then went on to the Civil War, Emancipation Proclamation. Of course, there was Reconstruction where we thought we was going to get some rights, and we still didn't get no rights.
40 acres and a mule.
We thought we was going to get our mules and our acres, but we didn't get that either. We still weren't people, even though we had been emancipated from slaves.
But we did get de facto segregation,
which is what came with Jim Crow when Reconstruction ended in 1877. And then he talked about how basically it wasn't until the Civil Rights Act of '66 that changed anything. And he said, essentially, black people have not actually been people in this country country or considered Americans in this country, maybe not until 1970.
Which is a second ago in time.
And 40 years ago, basically.
It's
40
a
years ago.
second in the drop of time.
So it was absolutely no time, and the very idea that you would think that we are somehow beyond race in this country is a joke. So for all of y'all out there, especially Fox News, because I've been watching y'all a lot, check yourself. So anyway, so he just checked her basically with a history lesson. It was very well thought out, very nicely put, and I thought that she received it well. And
it's earth-shattering, though, that Wendy Williams, who is an educated woman, went to college,
Northeastern University, not Northwestern, y'all, Northeastern.
Could be so detached from reality. You know what I mean? Like, even if she grew up upper middle class or whatever she is, to be so detached from the reality of people in this country is weird. Well, and also, black colleges, they're not. They allow in white people.
Well, see, that was the thing. She had to check herself the next day because she was like, yeah, my dad went to HBCUs. I didn't want it to seem like I don't appreciate HBCUs, but I just didn't like the idea that, like, if I were a white person, I would look at that funny. And it's like, but white people have always been able to go to an HBCU.
Which is a huge, super important thing. So that's why I was like, when she was saying there's no reason, what do you mean? Oh, we should fold up the university that's been here for 100 just because? Yeah. That's insane.
And especially right now when HBCUs are in serious trouble.
I want to chime in on this because there's a very, very gray line as public personalities and entertainers that we have to kind of walk. Because none of us here, I don't know your guys' background, but myself, I'm not an authority on any of this shit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All this is opinion, and I get full of my opinion from media and press and different forms of information. So, in the case of Wendy Williams, she has to be cautious in terms of how she creates the controversy to her show.
Well, and I think it's not so much about
he came in and. Yeah. He's an expert in that field.
And he's an expert in that field, but I also think it kind of goes back to what he was even saying. He said, if you're on TV and you don't know your facts, I think what it was is not what she said or how she delivered it. It's the fact that she just didn't know what she was talking about. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to deliver something like that or be controversial, at least have some bullet points to back up what you're saying. And she did not have that.
It's very Stacey Dash of her to say all that.
And I mean
Donald Trump is the GOP. You see what
that's true. It's funny because like I'm not the person. I didn't jump on Wendy like everybody was thinking. Because I just was like,
I just thought she sounded ignorant.
No, I thought she didn't. I thought she didn't actually make a point. Like the sentence didn't make any sense. Like it didn't make any sense. So I just couldn't even. I was like, girl, I don't even know where. I don't think you knew where you were going. So I'm gonna just let that go. And the fact that she came back and at least would apologize, like, all right, girl, work with it. But at the same time, it's one of those things that I feel like there's. How do I say this kindly?
This is BHL. You don't have to say it kindly.
No, because I want to be respectful. But intelligence is not common, as we would like to think in this country. Ooh. And I don't mean to say that as to be an elitist or anything like that. We aren't a country of
intelligence is not common, or our education system is shite.
Are we talking
I think it's a combination of both.
Is that America in general or black people?
I'm thinking America in general,
America in general. Have you not talked to lots of dumb white people? Because I have.
Oh, I have.
We don't read as we should. We don't question as we should. I think it's a part. I think education is a part of it, but I think that's a part of it. It's not the whole picture.
No, you're right. You're right, because girls like me who read a book a day were made fun of by the other kids for actually being interested in reading a book a day. So what's that about? I don't know.
What does that mean? And so I just feel like she is only a further representation of what we're, which is why Donald Trump is even running for president right now, and why it's working, and why he's neck and neck with Hillary in all the swing states right now. Because we feed off of emotion and our opinion and what our thoughts, but we don't educate ourselves to give those opinions in the way that we maybe should.
I'm sure nobody here is leaning towards Trump in this room, but the New York Times.
What are you talking about? I love it.
had a really good article yesterday about Donald Trump and the stats and the people he retweets and it was a really great article about the number of racist organizations. That a third of the people who follow him follow white power organizations, and that he retweeted a stat that 81% of white people were killed by black people. The stat is more like 15, not 81%. So I'm preaching to the choir because nobody here is voting for him who's watching this show. But it's insane that he can get away with that and not be checked by other news organizations.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, one thing I also appreciated, back to kind of what Roland was saying to Wendy, is the fact that he really focused on the education factor with just that. He feels like that's the main issue of just a lot of things that are going on in the world, is the difference of the educational system and hierarchy of that. And what I did appreciate, though, is at the end when he and Wendy had that moment about talking about, she said, I have a son, he's in his teens, he's an African-American man, obviously. How do I get him what do I tell him growing up? What do I do? And Roland said, your responsibility is to get him home safe. Whatever you need to do to get him home safe, meaning, if you're out and something happens, you don't need to be getting involved, or you don't need to do certain things that will jeopardize your life outside of your control. But your responsibility as a parent is to get your son home safe.
He essentially said, maintain your dignity, maintain your dignity, but call somebody when it's over.
Call somebody when it's over.
So it's a very produced segment.
I don't know if I felt that way.
I would say with my knowledge of the show, it was not a very produced segment.
No. Really? So it was a genuine conversation?
I think it was a genuine conversation.
I think Wendy genuinely felt like maybe this is not my lane, and I wasn't
She backed off her lane.
She backed off her lane.
Was like,
in fact, when he was going at her, she even just sat back and
sitting there with her
She was
eyes
like, what, you're right.
Because I want her to be asking the questions that ignorant people would try to fight back with.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
feel what
Because
you're
she
saying.
has such a huge platform that I'm very happy that she brought him on the show to give this type of information, because most people watching Wendy Williams probably don't know.
But here's the thing: do they even care? I mean, it's a gossip
But that's
show.
why
And
I'm
Wendy's been
asking
very
that it's
nice
not
to me back in
produced.
the day,
If it
by the
was
way.
like a
very nice to me,
conversational,
but it's not the
I feel like then they would be interested. But if he's gonna come out and she passed the mic,
I mean, it's a 10-minute segment.
Right.
I think they got in what they
got in what they could.
and what was good. What they got in was good.
And you bring up a good point, with the idea is, do people really want to know? Because the idea, ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah, sure.
And complacency makes you just as guilty
Absolutely.
as the next person.
Sure.
So, the conscious thinking of the African American person, I think, in today's society is fueled by the media just as much as white people are fueled by Donald Trump.
Yeah.
They are not as educated as they think they are.
Well, I mean, you guys probably already covered this topic on a week I wasn't here, but I was shocked with the Azalea Banks video, just because, I mean, when I was growing up, like bleaching your skin and being so forthright, and her comparing it to, well, you wear a weave, why can't I bleach my skin? I thought, the self-hatred is so deep here. It's still so deep here. That's what I learned from that
I'm
video.
gonna send
that
you an
our
interview of her.
self-hatred,
Well, that's a whole
not
other
all of ours.
different-
I know, it's a
We
whole
talked about
other
it in the beginning of the
topic.
show. That's the House Negro complex.
Right.
Right, yeah. But it was upsetting to me because there's a girl with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful skin color, and why would you want to turn it gray?
Because when you're totally told that you're beautiful,
I
beautiful skin color.
know, which is a topic for another day. But the thing I want to say to people who are out there
It's been
bleaching their
affirmed to
skin
you
because
over and
you
over.
think you're going to be more beautiful, it turns your skin gray and thinner, which means you'll wrinkle a million times sooner. So all that black don't crack won't apply to you if you bleach your beautiful skin.
Tis true. Tis true.
Reach on.
Next
All
topic.
right.
Sorry, I keep interrupting with non-topics.
Do not
No, but
bleach
hey,
your
that's what I
skin,
do.
guys.
That's relevant.
Do not bleach your skin, but maybe break a window if you feel so inclined.
I was not mad at this man.
I was not mad at him at all.
So, in the news this week, guys, there's a guy by the name of Corey Menifee who was working in a dining hall at Yale University. In this particular dining hall there are lots of stained glass windows. One in particular depicted artistic.
Artistic.
I was waiting to see how you were going to intro that.
Artistic. That's the word.
It depicted, so I was like, okay, stained glass, I've been to Yale, like, I used to go to Yale for debate tournaments all the time and saw some weird shit, but I was like, all right, this one I never actually
you never saw
I
that
didn't
one?
go in this
Think
hall.
of all the time it makes to make a stained
But
glass, too.
stained
Like, some
glass,
motherfucker was, like,
like,
staining this shit
All
for
I was
months.
thinking when I was reading this was, what happened
It's
to
not white
Jesus? Or like crosses and cruises. Let's fight over Jesus and Christianity. Like, you got the slaves pushing the bales of cotton
So,
on your stained glass window.
But let's say wasn't it one of the presidents or it wasn't the founder, but it was someone who was
John
a
C.
president.
Calhoun.
Right, well, yeah.
Who definitely was all the way down for the slavery.
Right, was very down on slavery. Big at Yale. They have a memorial
He
for
has a
him.
memorial, and they actually had a petition last year to try to get John C. Calhoun's names taken off of these major buildings at the university, which did not go through. But anyway, so Corey Menifee just one day, he was like, I'm tired of looking at this, and he broke it.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
He said, I can't do it no more.
I can't be mad at him either. I get it. Like, spirit came up in him, and he was like, I will take this down.
The story says he actually climbed
Yeah,
up. Like, he wasn't playing. He was up there. He's like, I'm done.
Right.
I'll give you
He was
Corey's
prepared for the
quote,
day.
just so y'all are fully aware of how it went down. He said, quote, I took a broomstick, and it's not funny, but like, it's kind of funny.
I didn't jump that broom.
He
I
said,
took that broom.
I took a broomstick and it was kind of high, and I climbed up and I reached up and I broke it. He said, quote, it's 2016, y'all. I should not have to come to work and see things like that. That thing's coming down today. I'm tired of it. And
to the university's very, very slight credit, they're not pressing charges. He resigned.
He resigned.
Saying they weren't going to press charges.
They're not going to press charges.
Or they're not going to make him pay to replace it.
And
because then
they are going to not have the slaves on it anymore. And they said that was not to endorse what Mr. Menifee did, but after having an intense conversation with some committee, they determined that perhaps having slave pictures on their windows was a bad idea.
Yeah. Y'all had to have a committee meeting to realize, like, oh, you know what? This made this man so mad he found a ladder, a broom, climbed up this bitch, almost put somebody in harm's way, and lost his. He didn't even give a fuck that he ain't gonna have a job tomorrow.
No.
But y'all were gonna take the time and the effort to recreate another stained glass. Like, you had to have a committee about that.
Well, let me pose a question, because it's like, kudos to the movement, right? Because of the chaos that's going on sociopolitically right now, he felt that he had taken it upon himself to break that glass. That ain't the first time he's seen him.
I love that you just said
He's
that.
been seeing shit forever.
He's been since
So kudos to the
2007.
movement. Now, with all that being said, does that paint us in the best light where you are going to destroy historical property to make a statement? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
Had Yale taken that out sooner, that panel could have been put in a slavery museum or somewhere or something like that, and said this is what was popular at the time.
Just a question.
Could have been put somewhere. So obviously you're playing a little bit of devil's advocate here, a little bit, because the dangerous thing is when he broke it, it did fall on the street.
It fell on the street. It could have hit somebody. It could have harmed somebody.
Really hurt someone.
That's terrible. And no, it does not paint us, I don't think, in a great light. But I think at times that is the point, because when we've tried, because don't get me wrong, I grew up in Atlanta, so there's a whole lot of slave memorabilia all around the place all the time, and you grow up seeing these things as if there's something we are also supposed to be exalting on a certain level. And I think that the idea that when people try to do it, just like they tried to do the petition to remove this name last year, and you're constantly told, hell no, like he's our historical figure. Yes, he was a historical figure, but he also was a historical figure of oppression for my entire group of people, and you don't receive that from us in any type of way as anything positive. Things like this are going to happen.
Right. I may have just said I accidentally did it. I was trying to clean that far left corner
he
of
worked in the
window,
dining hall.
and
He was
accidentally.
He was not the window cleaner.
Picture.
He on the scaffolding, like,
I was stretching with the broom,
I decided to help the window cleaners
and hit the damn glass and broke the shit.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
But it's so funny because it's like we sitting here talking about Wendy Williams and no black colleges, and you got this going on. Like,
well, the idea that she said there are no historically white colleges, if that ain't proof that there's a historically white college, I ain't ever seen proof. Like
slave owners on the buildings and
but it's
slaves in the windows.
But it keeps going with that debate with the Confederate flag and all of that stuff as to whether or not these artifacts of our past deserve to be displayed in current spaces of living, or do they solely belong in a museum?
Put them in a museum, because to remind people, never forget. Just like Jewish people say, never forget. Right. So to erase all these things, I'm not sure is exactly the right thing, but to leave them up where new students are coming in and have to look at that, and then it makes them smaller, just a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I think this is a very important comment. That was a comment I was going to make, is that whether we like it or not, at the end of the day, ideologically, this is American heritage.
It is.
Yes. And that America is the great nation that it is on the backs of African-American slaves.
Yes.
So we can't forget our heritage, because we all know that most black history is untold.
Yes.
That's true.
So I think that there's...
That's what I'm saying, never forget. So don't necessarily destroy all these things. Put them somewhere we can remember what horrific things.
Or choose to go to remember, not like
not
sitting in the cafeteria looking up like, here's oppression.
Yeah, because I almost feel like when it's like, because the argument that it should be on display, like this building, John C. Calhoun's wealthy riches have built these buildings, and that's why these things are still there. Seeing black slaves pushing cotton on a window for however many years it's been up there, doesn't that just completely dilute the actual idea of what slavery really was?
Right.
And it only continues to feed the narrative. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't think you guys would disagree. It continues to feed the narrative that that's not something it was a big deal, but not really, because we can still like just put it up there and people are looking at it every day and it's a picture and it's fine, and it wasn't fine.
No, there's
and
a
it's
reason,
very dark.
There's a reason Disney and Warner Brothers and all those cartoons got rid of the racist images that proliferated their stuff for years and years.
Tom and Jerry. And
all of them.
The Mammy.
Because it's subliminal messaging, and
it.
you're like, wait, Tom and Jerry was racist.
Partially,
Right.
it's capitalism. It's just pure capitalism on their part to get rid of these images, but it's also because they realize it doesn't have a place in today's world.
Yeah, and if you look at the image, I mean, that's an Instagram of slavery, right? When people put up the Instagram, they put up the highlights. Nobody puts an Instagram of them throwing up on Monday morning or whatever. So that's really an Instagram of slavery. Like, there's no lashings in that thing.
I wonder if their
Even their
slaves
clothes
were
were
they
intact,
smiling?
like, they were pushing the cart.
Everything was balanced.
They were fully dressed, like they weren't like tattered clothing, like it was gone with the wind.
It was like the Saints.
It was gone with the wind.
Were they house slaves?
No, I mean, they were carrying the bales of cotton, but they look real too good, because if you carrying the cotton, I have picked cotton.
That's a different episode.
They don't look like that. You ain't gonna look like that picking cotton. No way in hell.
Can't even touch
Not in the southern heat.
The squeak of it.
Yeah.
I feel like the squeak of cotton freaks me out, and it's probably like a collective consciousness slave memory. Like, I
don't know.
Cotton picking.
Well, then I must be around black too,
seriously.
because it irks the
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Girl, second grade, they
right.
passed around a cotton plant.
Well,
like, here, guys. I was like,
I'm not mad at him.
yes, they did.
I hope he gets a job soon, sir.
somebody else will hire him.
Good,
Yes, they
and
did.
a higher paying job at that.
Right. That'll really
Good
suck
luck,
in their
Corey
face. Good luck with
Menifee.
that.
Power to the people, brother.
We
Power to
support
the
you,
people.
brother.
Maybe they'll start a demolition.
Next time, just say it was an accident. We support you, though. All right, we're going to move on to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Spotlight Story of the Week.
There it came.
of the week.
All right. I don't even. This is not a surprise. This story here that I'm about to talk about. Mr. Trump. We obviously know that he's been very outspoken with Black Lives Matter and Obama and a lot of things that are going on, which I would think logically he would accept an invitation by someone like the NAACP to come on and express his viewpoints that he puts out in the media everywhere else.
Doesn't he want to talk to the blacks?
Doesn't he want to talk to the black folks? I mean, that's what I would think.
blacks voting
That's
for
right, the
him.
blacks voting for him. That's what he said.
Just fucking play ball, you fuck.
I'm like, where are you guys reading this from?
Exactly. But apparently that's not the case, because the NAACP chapter is having their annual meeting that's taking place in Cincinnati, Ohio, next week. They invited Mr. Trump to come out and give a speech and to kind of back up some of the statements that he's been making. And guess who denied that invitation? Mr. Trump himself, who will be in Cleveland, by the way.
I was going to say, he in Cleveland for the convention
I'm
next
from
week.
Ohio. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. You
can pop over there, brother.
You can pop over there real quick and pop back to where you need to be, but he doesn't feel that way. He is changing the rules. Actually, in 2000, he's actually changed the course of Republicans not coming to the NAACP meeting, because Mitt Romney in 2012, he actually went to the convention, which was in Texas, and addressed things that he was speaking about. So this is what NAACP's Cornell Williams Brooks told CNN about Mr. Trump's decline. Mr. Trump has declined our invitation. The explanation was given that the Republicans are holding their convention at the same time. We are, of course, in Cincinnati. They are in Cleveland. We are hoping that he would make the short trip from Cleveland to Cincinnati. That's not the case. Brooks says he was disappointed by Trump. Sorry, just lost where I was reading. Okay, he said he was disappointed by Trump's announcement, saying it was a missed opportunity for the real estate mogul to respond to recent problems between law enforcement and the African American community. He said, I will simply say this. The NAACP represents an occasion for those running for president to speak at the nation's most critical issues at a critical hour in this country. You can't run for president and not talk about police misconduct. You can't run for president and not talk about the issues.
He already did, though, y'all. Didn't y'all hear his response to the drama last week? He said, I will restore law and order.
Oh, okay, that SVU, sit down. Stop.
But here's the thing.
I didn't know we were in martial law.
That's exactly.
To back up that New York Times article, they do mention that one of the heads of one of these super white power racist groups was like, thank you for the wink and the nod by not when he's like, I disavow, but he doesn't really say what or how or where. So by retweeting those people, they're taking that as literally Trump giving him a, I'm with you. So,
Right.
so for him to go, and maybe he is, because for him to not go speak at the NAACP kind of confirms to them, I'm with you, white power people.
Right.
I'm not even going to be bothered to go here.
Right, it's not even important enough to
That's
do it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's how I take that sign, to be honest, to let his white, because I lived in New York City, but also in upstate New York, very, very poor white people, dirt floors, the poorest of the poor, who are all backing Trump.
Right.
And that he wants to let them know that, no, I'm still your man, I'm still white.
Yeah, but see, I when you say that, that makes sense. But to me, he was just scared, and he's afraid of them going in on him.
Yeah. Oh,
That to me, to me, it's pure out of fear, and I feel like he'll get there, and he doesn't know.
You don't think he's?
I don't think he's
not
afraid
prepared to
at
answer.
all.
He's not
afraid at
I don't
all.
think he's
He is
prepared to answer our
he
questions.
is fully aware that there is almost nobody in that room that's going to vote for him no matter what because he's already put out there what he is and what he's going to do, and it is not in alignment with
So
most
why
of the
play
people
a
in that
losing
room.
game?
So why play that game?
Yeah.
Why give the press the opportunity to
that,
pull
actually.
anything? He's smart as
Why alienate
as much
the
of an
white
asshole
power
as he is smart as shit, and he is not confused at all about what he's doing or why he's doing it, and that was on purpose, and he knows exactly what
Because
the
he
hell
would
he's
really
doing.
go there and make a stupid ass statement that would go viral everywhere. And
But
then
he
all-
makes stupid ass statements
It's-
in a
but
good
it-
viral
not-
other
but
ways.
not to their faces.
No, but it's in alignment with what he is saying he is about. It doesn't matter how stupid we think it is. It's aligned with what he has laid out and what he's planning and what he wants to do, or at least what he's saying he wants to do for the country.
I mean, overall, in true Trump fashion, this is braggadocious, this is cocky, this is arrogant.
Right.
For him to be the presumptive GOP nominee, potentially president of the United States of America, to step up in the public forum and say, you know what, the NAACP is beneath me.
Yeah.
I don't have time for you when I'm 500 fucking miles away. So fuck y'all niggas. This is what I'm doing. And what's more troubling about that is that if this cocksucker becomes fucking president, imagine how he's gonna treat foreign nations.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, he's gonna come through with his little hands, gonna wag his little fucking pink dick at motherfuckers, and he is going to destroy a lot of things on a global scale. Sorry, I'm on my soapbox. But however,
It's all good.
it is, at the end of the day, a very disgusting slap in the face to not only the African American culture, but minorities in general. And progress. It's a slap in the face to evolution. Just follow a script. I think that the cocksucker's so used to just coming off the cuff, he didn't know how to follow a script because he wants to tell us what's up with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well said.
Amen to
In
that.
addition to that,
You
though,
went in.
just because he
I
brought
imagine.
it up, y'all should go online. For those of you that actually are voting, and those of you not voting but maybe need to vote, go online and actually read these platforms, because the Republican National Committee has set out their platform. Go read it, y'all.
We're not to get
knowledge.
I'm just saying, go read it. It's online. They break it down. Like, you don't have to read. It's a lot. It is long, I promise you. And I know people will go online and be like, I don't want to scroll. Just scroll through the shit. It has freaking headlines, and like browse it.
It should be
Or
a
some-
requirement
it
that if
was-
you're going to read gossip, you should have
You should
to,
have to, like,
read
one-
like a paragraph
Right.
of news.
Yeah.
And I'm not-
Can't
you know,
that's a
access that
great
gossip
idea.
site.
It's true,
That is a
and it will
great
click right
idea.
to it.
Right.
But I'm not saying just the Republican committee. Read the Democrat one too, because that one is real interesting also. But the Republican National Committee's platform is really going in a very different direction than it has in the past. It has rewound all the way
Where would they be able
back.
to look that up?
All the way back. You can
Give
just go
us,
online
like,
and Google
two
Republican National
things.
Committee platform.
Courtney, give
And
us
it'll
like
come
two
right up.
things from it that you, like two things.
Well, they're definitely trying to restore natural marriage. So for those of you that, even though the Supreme Court just
Talking about
ruled,
like covenant law.
Well, meaning rolling back every
rolling
gay
back
rights,
any gay rights that have come.
or
If you
things
gay,
like that.
if you LGBTQ, they ain't even trying to be a little bit for you. Like, not even a little bit. Like, we like to accept that, you know, the Supreme Court, okay, they have finally spoken. We finally have across, like, what we're going to do with this marriage thing. Just kidding.
Did you hear Trump say, I will replace people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the
Because she made the
Supreme
comment
Court and
and-
replace them with people who are, you know, for the right laws. What are you going to do, kill her? That's the first thing I thought. You can't replace her. They're there for life. What are you going to do, knock her off so you can put in some conservative people?
Read it, y'all.
Maybe.
Just
Check
go
that
read
out.
it. Just
The
go
only thing
read
that's
it.
going to help us in the Democratic side is the fact that there is so much infighting in the GOP that it's starting to look like a farce.
Right.
At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I mean, they are literally attacking at each other's ankles. And Donald, I mean, have you ever walked in a room and you know nobody in the room likes you?
No.
That,
I ain't never.
how does he sleep at night?
He don't
He doesn't
Peace,
care.
very peaceful.
He
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
He is.
Do we know if Hillary's going?
Hillary, I was just about to say Hillary will be there, so
Of
she
course
is.
she's gonna be there.
She better
trying to
be
get
there.
back votes.
She got to be there. She doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Even if she don't want to be there, she's got to be there. But it should be interesting. It's next week, so I can't wait to find out more information
What
about
he
that.
gonna tweet? I can imagine.
Well, here's the last point about this, because feel like we give him too much, conversation anyway. But he made all those statements about President Obama being the divider of this country, Black Lives Matter, and everything that's going on. But yet you won't go address these issues. And I agree with you, Courtney. He's a very smart man, and this is all strategic. But don't make those pissy ass statements and then don't go back it up.
He doesn't have to.
I get
That's
it.
the
I
whole
get-
point.
I get what you're saying.
He has
I
not
get
had
what
to
you're saying.
back up anything,
I get
and
what
he
you're saying.
is
Can I
very
just-
possibly the next president of the United States, and he has not had to
I already
back
have my
up
one-way ticket to
anything.
Toronto. It's
I
all
just want to
good.
read this really quickly. It was from the Four Agreements, and it really just read with what's going on. It said, "The word is so powerful that one word can change a life or destroy the lives of millions of people. Some years ago, one man in Germany, by the use of the word, manipulated a whole country of the most intelligent people. He led them into a world of war with just the power of his word. He convinced others to commit the most atrocious acts of violence. He activated people's fear with the word, and like a big explosion, there was a killing and war all around the world. All over the world, humans destroyed each other, because they were afraid of each other. Hitler's word, based on fear-generated beliefs and agreements, will be remembered for centuries." And I'm just sitting here as I'm reading that, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this is happening right now."
You're not the first person to make the comparison to Hitler. And I mean, if you're going to stand in front of a group full of all white people
true.
and hold your fist up no, not your fist. He's doing the Heil Hitler thing, literally doing that. So he's put himself there. I think he would probably say, well, Hitler said some good things, I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, which is what's insane. Good luck with that.
Well, good luck with
and
that.
all the political experts, including all of us in this room, are completely baffled.
Yeah.
Completely baffled.
We thought Sarah
there's no
Palin was-
fact checking. There's
Yeah,
no.
I agree. We thought Sarah
accountability.
Palin was back.
Bring Sarah back.
Bring Sarah back. Bring her back from Alaska. Bring her back.
Sarah Palin needs to be on a cereal box.
But I thought that was like the height of stupidity in this country, like some dumb yokel. You're going to
Right.
put her as vice president who
I can see Russia.
Right,
From
she's
my backyard.
literally not a bright woman, and now we have not a bright man, a privileged man.
Both on reality shows.
Yeah,
Yes.
But see,
exactly.
I'm glad.
That's a good point.
That's the point, y'all.
That's the point. All right.
Are we
gonna
gonna have a
move on
first lady that can't even speak English for crying out loud? Fuck.
Jesus.
She's an immigrant. Shouldn't we send her back to whatever
I think
country
we
she
should.
came from?
Oh,
speaking of
Which-
first.
is that which
Well,
Roland
yes.
wants?
Speaking of first, and we're going to end on something more positive, is Dr. Carla D. Hayden becomes the first African American and first female librarian of Congress. Here are a couple key facts about Dr. Hayden. She was nominated by President Obama earlier this year, according to NPR. She will also be the first appointed to the office under President Obama's new law that has established a 10-year term for the Librarian of Congress. The position was previously a lifetime appointment before President Obama signed the law in 2015. And in addition to her leadership role in the Baltimore Public Library system, Dr. Hayden has also served as the president of the American Library Association and made history in 1995 as the first African American to be named Librarian of the Year by Library Journal. Wow, that's a lot of libraries, but kudos to her.
Yeah.
Black girls and black women rock.
Yep.
She's killing it. Love hearing this.
Another role model.
I love the library, by the way. As a small child,
we
I
were just
literally
talking about that.
lived in there, spent my whole life there. It's a great place. And right now, I don't know if you know this, but the Overdrive app connects your library card that you have on you. Just put it in, put your number, and then you can download free ebooks
Shut up.
and it literally shoots you to Amazon. Now you have an option to borrow the book from Amazon through your library card. So I love the
That
library.
app's called what?
Overdrive app, free app. Everything's free. Hooks up. You can download audio books. It's an amazing app, and I love the library for what it brings. I love that there's an African American black woman running. And if you haven't been to the Library of Congress, LOC.gov website, by the way, if you can't get to the actual place, the website is an amazing treasure trove of
right
stuff.
there.
Courtney, right now on her phone.
It's been one of my favorite sites for like 15 years.
Yeah.
So check it out, everybody, and kudos to her.
Kudos to her. Shout out to her. We'll have her on the show one day, hopefully. soon.
Hopefully.
All right, well, that
gonna be
concludes
busy,
our
man.
hot topic. Yeah, she's going to be real busy, you're right. That concludes our hot topics, but we're going to talk about David and his movie Out Dysfunction, man.
Hey!
You know, that trailer, we got a trailer actually that we want to play a little clip of that. Zach, you got that queued up for us?
You're gonna get a little piece of the.
You're gonna get a piece of this, but while he's queuing that up, tell everybody what the film is about.
So All Out Dysfunction is a feature that's releasing nationwide in September. I wrote, executive produced, and also play one of the leads. It's basically 6 dysfunctional Hollywood types that all live in a mansion. The only thing that ties them together is they all have rooms for rent on Craigslist. It's basically the Hollywood complex, right? So you've got like a germaphobe Juilliard, who I play. You've got a 70-year-old landlady. You got an MIT Punjabi. You've got a webcam porn chick. You got a gore effects makeup artist, and a runway model who's a cokehead and is completely bulimic.
So LA.
So you put all those people together,
Great idea.
and it's basically the ensemble piece gone fucking pear-shaped. Because only in LA and New York, where you have bohemian artists that can't afford to live, are we forced to coexist with people we don't give a shit about.
Very true.
So that's basically the premise. So it's cocaine, ecstasy, masturbation, porn shoots, nitrous tanks, rave parties, date rape, suicide, stuff for the kids.
If that doesn't cover your interests out there, one of those things.
One of those things, and we're not judging.
With all due respect, it's not everybody's movie, but if you're into that genre of film, now let me just be honest. I mean, we do study the human condition. I mean, it's not gratuitous. I mean, it is really good art house cinema. So hopefully.
How did you get your funding for this?
Through about 9 different investors.
Wow, that's impressive. All private investors. That's amazing.
Yeah, I joined the Producers Guild this year, but this is my 4th feature film as a producer. I came to LA and I started producing as an opportunity for myself as an actor. And I realized that this business is like
Smartest
a casino.
way to go.
It's designed to make us fail.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're a minority, and we only fill 12% of the talent pool according to the Screen Actors Guild census data. That's a fact.
Which is nothing.
So we're already facing a mountain. So in other words, we have to be able to commandeer our own careers, create content. One of the things that I try to do with this is I made a white exploitation style film, but I put brown people in front of the camera.
Yeah, you had 120 people of color in the film. 11 or 12 of them are African American, 11 are Latina. I got to give you a props for that just alone, man.
I actually, when I was developing the project, it was very important for me to work with black people. So I actually partnered with the Hollywood Black Film Festival to get black interns to work below the line. Because unfortunately, we're not educated. And we can't level the playing field until we can move up the ranks, below the line and above the line. So I wanted to educate crews, black crews, and Latino crews. I don't care, as long as you're brown.
Right.
You need to learn how to work in the film industry.
Wait, are we going to look? Are we going to see a
We got the
clip?
clip. We're going to show a little clip right here.
Six people with nothing in common. Meet the sex pot.
Boys, where was I?
Meet the addict.
Wait till you guys see this.
Meet the landlady.
A goddamn porn.
Meet the misfit.
Buenos dias, mamacita.
The germaphobe.
Smells sex, then sex is airborne.
And the pervert.
In the style of an orangutan.
Living together, all in one house.
I am strong like spear.
Wow.
What's my name?
And one of them has an idea.
I thought I'd throw a party here tonight.
What I care about is my money and my time.
You need my help, and I want half.
So now what are you gonna do about this old lady, Clarell?
I don't know. Can we knock her out or something?
What about Clarell?
Scooter said he was gonna take care of it. It'll be fine.
Oh my god, tequila makes me crazy.
I'm the best ever! Don't worry when you do.
What a difference a dysfunctional day makes. All Out Dysfunction. Yeah, baby. Coming soon.
I feel like I just left the rave. That's an exciting trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing that full movie. So, what were some of the challenges that you had with creating it? Do we have enough time?
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. Look, I take my hat off to anybody that can complete any project, whether it's a short film, web series, or feature film. And when you step up as a producer, especially in the low budget arena, you take all your skill set, you take all your experience, and you put it in front of you, and then the rest is sort of like predicting the future.
Yeah.
Because we literally had miracles happen every single day.
How long was your shoot, by the way?
We shot 96 pages in 11 days.
Wow. Just so people know, that's a lot.
That's a
like
lot.
studio movies shoot 1 to 2 pages a day. Indies usually do 7 to 8, but if we're really trying to get it done, we do 10 to 11 to 12.
We had 2 12-page days.
Yeah, I bet.
Back to back, and we shot in Granada Hills. It was 115 degrees.
Oh,
and we shot single camera Red Epic. So it was a no joke shoot. And then we went back and then we cut the thing together, and we didn't cut it anywhere like the script. So we ended up doing 2 more 12-hour days of full on pickups. Actually, they weren't even pickups; they were actually production days. But
sure.
But nonetheless, it was like I just went in and I was like, you know what? I want to create a script that speaks to the human condition, that talks about Hollywood, that's interesting and entertaining, that I can do for a micro budget, that I can hire my friends in.
Yeah.
That I can do that is going to put me at the round table of serious independent
Did you
filmmakers
hire
in
your
LA.
friends?
I did. I hired. Well, there's an interesting thing about that. I hire my friends in key positions, only in key positions if they truly are experts.
Sure.
Because your friends will take considerations with you.
Liberty.
They'll show, hey, Dave's my boy. I'm gonna be there in 30 minutes, my dude. No, bro, this is a real set.
Right.
I would rather hire strangers because strangers won't take concessions.
No, that's why it's true. You don't want to recommend your friends unless you're really sure they're awesome and reliable.
And I will say that I Taft Hartlead 26 actors.
No way.
That means they can get in the union, guys.
right.
For those of you who don't know.
For those who don't know, it is hard as hell to get into the union.
It's not that hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you learn, new media made it much easier.
Oh, wait,
once again, read, y'all.
You're right.
New media changed that for everybody. It's very easy to do.
The reason I want to point that out is there's a lot of actors who are like, I got to do anything to get my Taft Hartley and get my SAG card. You don't actually. It'll come to you at the right time.
Yeah.
That's what I know. You'll get a commercial, you get a thing, you'll get a movie where you're Taft Hartley.
Sure. And I mean, look, ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm really, really blessed. I got distribution without a festival.
That's big.
People ask me, how'd you get distribution? It's distributed by Gravitas, and they're the largest distributor of digital content in North America.
They're huge.
Secret, and so on and so forth. And like, how'd you get distribution? I cold called them. I cut a badass trailer. I was like, look, hey man, check me out. And they looked at it, and there it is, and so there it happened. So,
Did you shot your trailer first, and did you do a sizzle reel first to get your financing? You shot this to get the distribution.
No, I edited the trailer myself. I wrote the first draft of the script 7 years ago. Oh, wow. So we did an Indiegogo campaign 5 years ago. Money fell in, money fell out, and then it went flat. So I unfortunately had to go back to people and say, I'm still sitting on your money and my movie's not being made. And literally it just got to the point that my ego got in the way. We gotta make this movie come hell or fucking high water. Like Craig Brewer said it best, by all means necessary. I am not gonna take no for an answer. In fact, I want to hear no, because if you tell me no, I'm turning right or left.
Right.
Yeah.
That means I can't go straight no more. So give me a reason. Please tell me no.
Right.
Save me some time. And get it done, because we want to inspire people. We want to uplift people. This is real. Like, I wasn't born into Hollywood royalty. Come on, man. I'm a dude from another dude that knew another dude. I'm the assistant. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, let's get it done, people. You know what I mean?
I feel that. I mean, and for those people who are always asking, how do you get into Hollywood? Listen to this man right there, because he just explained it. You gotta work and get your hustle on and stay consistent.
Yeah, I mean, people will say, how do I get my foot in the door? Yeah. Build a frame and walk through it. Your first door is gonna fall apart. You don't know how to bevel edges. You don't know how to sand it down properly, but you build enough doors, and eventually people are going to hire you to build doors for them.
Totally.
Robert Rodriguez says you got 10 bad films in your system until you start making good movies. So people, hurry up and start making bad movies.
Also, I want to say what I like about this is I'm a little over tentpole-y, huge superhero-y things. So I like to see stories. No, I mean they're fun for what they are. But I actually, came to this town in the early '90s and did a lot of independent, Sundance-y kind of movies, and I like storytelling. So
I agree.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
We have to wrap, but where can people find out about the movie? Because I know you premiere it in September, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna have a big premiere at LA Live at Regal Cinemas in September, and it's gonna be available for pre-order in August on iTunes. We're going VOD, digital, cable across the country. Then we're gonna go global with it. We're trying to launch a movement, so please support independent film.
What's the website?
All Out Dysfunction. Just Google All Out Dysfunction. It will come up. thedysfunction.com, spelled with a K.
And where's your personal social media that the
My
people
personal
can find
social media, DaveBianchi.com, exertionfilms.com. Instagram is DBianchiSAG, as in Screen Actors Guild, and Twitter is @DavidBianchi. Come find me, people.
Find that man. Courtney, where can people find you?
I am everywhere at Stuart Starlet.
Jesse.
Everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
Rachel.
On Twitter, I'm at Rachel True, but please check my Twitter because I'm teaching a workshop, Healthy Body, Healthy Mind workshop in a couple weeks. If you're in LA, please check my Twitter feed and check it out because you people won't stop talking about my age. Come and listen to how I look, I don't know, not like a decrepit crone crypt keeper, at my age by taking care of my body and what I put in it.
This one does not age, but you can check me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we will see you next week. Congratulations to your movie. We look forward to seeing it. Go check it out in September, everybody.
Out Dysfunction. Hey!
From executives Keven Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me @KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.